How's it going, guys? Mike Killen, ProWrestling.com here. Today I am talking to top talent, Christian Casanova. How you doing, man?
What's up, Michael?
Today we're basically promoting Limitless Wrestling's Vacationland Cup coming up December 19th, 2020, streaming exclusively on IWTV. Starts with 8 guys in singles matches, breaks down into a fatal 4-way. The winner of that takes home the cup. However, this year, there's a whole added stipulation to it because Mr. Anthony Green got himself a little contract down in Orlando and had to vacate that belt a few months back. So this year, the winner not only walks away with that cup, but they walk away with the Limitless Wrestling World Championship. So far, we got 2 matches announced for that. We're going to break a little bit of news here. Lee Moriarty's going one-on-one with Daniel Garcia, and we got JD Drake taking on Kevin Blackwood. So Myron Reed was originally supposed to be on the show. Unfortunately, love Myron, great dude.
Me too.
Unfortunately, can't be there next weekend. So a fatal 4-way match is going to take place this weekend. Limitless is still working out the details on that, so stay tuned to their social media this week. Mac Daniels, Ricky Archer, Tyree Taylor, and CJ Cruz in a fatal 4-way match. The winner gets you in the first rounds. Tell us a little bit about those 4 guys. Is there anyone you really want to face or maybe don't want to face going into that tournament?
I'll tell you who I don't want to face, and that's Big Ty. No, I'm kidding. I'll face any of those guys. CJ I've known for a long time, wicked talented kid. Big Ty I've known for a little while now. Very, very, very talented, very underrated. Mac Daniels has John Alba in his corner, so, he's a threat right there alone.
Right. And then award-winning John Alba.
Yeah, award-winning, Emmy nominated twice now. Make sure we put that over. And then Ricky Archer, who I've trained with and I've seen him come up since he was brand new, and he's also a threat. So really any of those guys could win that. Whoever it is, it doesn't matter. I'm looking forward to whatever type of competition. I've already got my mind set that I'm going to be in the final, so it doesn't really matter at this point who's going to be that preliminary match before then.
Right. So this year, again, that world title is on the line. Only 2 people have ever held that title. Both of them now gone on to sign with major companies. They got Anthony Green, and before that, Maxwell Jacob Friedman, the first ever Limitless World Champion. So what would it mean for you to be able to take home that title and go, this is the culmination of everything I've been working towards?
Yeah, I think it means even more to me based off the fact that I had been on the very first Limitless show before Limitless was really even anything. Or had any of the hype or buzz that it does right now. So, and being from New England, like a mainstay for the longest time, I think winning that championship to me just means that, started from the bottom in a way. Like the true culmination of starting from the bottom and then getting all the way to the top. That's, the underdog story. I was just a Michael Jackson impersonator at one point. And I just climbed the ranks little by little by little. It took a little while, but, I'm at the top of the ranks now. And I think that who better than me? And this is also my 3rd Vacationland Cup.
Right.
So it's like, you better get it right now, dude, or never again. So I think I got more to lose than a lot of these guys because I don't see myself getting any other opportunities again.
I want to go back and talk about you early on. You'd mentioned it. You came out to Billie Jean wearing that bright red leather jacket. Michael Jackson head to toe, and obviously you've reinvented yourself quite a bit since then. So was it out of a need to stand out, or where did that come from?
Yeah, it was more like I needed like a character. I needed something to attach myself to. Right. Just because like when you're so new, you really have no identity. And I was 19 years old, so it's like I didn't even know who I was as a person, Right. So it was like, well, what are the things that you like? I like Michael Jackson, and it wasn't something that I was like, oh, I'm going to be Michael Jackson or I want to be, but it was something that I was like, all right, I'm going to get my feet wet with this little gimmick for a while until I figure out who I want to be and who I am. And after a while, like I started getting really deep into it. Like I was knees deep into that shit. And I was like, all right, I got to get out of here.
Or you're just going to be the Michael Jackson guy forever. Right.
Dude. Yes, bro. And the problem is that I wanted to be like a serious competitive wrestler. I did not want to be like a hokey pokey, gimmick guy at all. Like, I just really wanted to be taken serious. And then, I ended up turning heel at Chaotic Wrestling. And that's when I brought the whole top talent look, persona into, like, me. And then dude, everything after that just started clicking. And then now it's just me,
right.
but for a while it was a persona, and it was like, being cocky and being flashy and doing all this. And now, like, I know who I am. So it's easier to just be the top talent because I am what I say I am.
That was going to be my next question, is sort of when you decided to step away from all of that and go on your own and try and tell the world, who you are away from that gimmick. Was it out of concern for just longevity? Were you just kind of sick of it? Or you kind of mentioned like you wanted to be taken seriously as a wrestler?
Yeah, that was really it for me. I was like, I'm not doing a freaking dance off every match. I'm not, and I wasn't fully committing. Like, a lot of people were like, oh, you got to do more. You got to do more. And then I had other people like, you got to do less. You got to do less.
Everyone's got an opinion.
Yeah, dude, it was just so conflicting. And it was like, it was taking the fun out of it for me because I was overthinking. Like, I wasn't in the ring having fun. I was in the ring thinking, oh, well, should I do this here? Should I do this here? I wasn't confident.
Right.
And then, so I mean, and it was just, like I said, like, it was just to get my feet wet. And then I stayed a little bit too long. It was only really 2 years when I look back at it, but it was, like, it worked. It worked for me. It really did. It got me over. It got me some attention. Like, I had a good matches with that gimmick. Like, I'll never bury that gimmick because it put me on. It set me up for something bigger, which ended up being the top talent. So
it got the right eyes on you and it put you in front of the right people. So if it works, it works. Let's shift and talk about the Dream Team for a second. Okay. Who doesn't love Stokely Hathaway? So somewhere along the line, Stokely Hathaway took you under his wing. How it seems like it had a major effect in sort of shaping the Christian Casanova we see today. Can you tell us a little bit more about how that kind of came to be and what it was like working with Stoke and taking away from that experience?
Yeah, no, I needed that just because, like I said, I had just gone from the Michael Jackson gimmick to the top talent character. And one of the concerns a lot of people had was that I wasn't going to be able to get heat as a heel, just because I had just come off from being a babyface and a gimmicky babyface at that. So, a lot of people were like, you got to put a manager with him. That happened to me at Chaotic as well. But when they put me with Stokely, I had known Stokely, but me and him weren't, I didn't know him that well, but I knew, of course I knew of him. When they put us together, it was a perfect match because our personalities match. Stokely is so talented. He can get anybody over. He can get heat, for anybody. And he really brought out the best in me, personality wise. And just, he made it easier for the people to hate me. Okay. Even though I was doing cool shit and doing flashy shit. But yeah, Stokely, he's definitely enhances whoever he's with.
Right. I'm going to talk about one of my favorite guys out there today, the MLW World Middleweight Champion, Hot Fire, Myron Reed. We mentioned, of course, he won't be at that show next weekend, but you guys, I went back and watched you guys' matches, and you have had some battles. You're 2 up on him in singles action right now.
He got one on me in tag, though.
Right. And there's also, but you also have a win over him and Trey and the Workhorsemen in tag action too. So you're 1-1 in tag.
Oh shoot, I forgot about that.
You're 2 up on him in singles.
He can't even touch me at this point.
I mean, I wasn't trying to bury Myron. That wasn't the point of this.
No, I'm burying Myron. I'm playing. I'm about to text him and tell him, bro, I'm 3 up on you. All right. Sucker.
Sorry, Myron, in advance for that. But you two have been around each other. You guys have had some absolute matches. It might have happened again in the Vacationland Cup next weekend if you were able to make that show. So tell me about those matches, you going back with Myron and what those have meant to you and just the process of working with him.
Myron's one of those people, he reminds me a lot of myself in a sense. Like, no matter who you put him in there with, he's going to have a good match. And that's not even tooting my own horn. It's just that I know, like, he's confident in himself the way I'm confident in myself. Right. He's not going to let anybody make him look bad, but he's going to make you look even better than you are. And, when you're both really good, you're only, the sky is the limit. And that was both of our mindsets, is just to go in that match and make each other look as good as possible while making ourselves look even better. And when you get in the ring with people like that elevate you to that, to that limit, it's just like, it's magic. And Myron and I had great chemistry and we got along great. And we're both very competitive against ech other. And healthy competitive, like we want to see each other win, but like you're going to have to earn that win. Right. I think that's what made Myron and I so special, was that we went at it like we were both, genuinely trying to win, and we were both trying to prove that we're better than each other.
We got to talk about For the Culture. It was one of my very favorite shows of 2020. I was into the idea of this show from the very start, and I really wanted to go to it back when it was supposed to happen at Mania weekend. Obviously, that all got shut down, and none of us ended up going out for that this year. But I love learning about new talent, and it doesn't happen to me very often just because of the nature of what I do full time, but I love it when it happens. And I became a fan of so many people because of that show. Ooh. I mean, Mike Outlaw, O'Shea Edwards, Trish Adora, Calvin Tankman, you. I mean, I'd seen your stuff before, but I'm a huge Tasha Steele's fan. So when you guys came out, I was like, all right, this is my dude. All right, we're good. I get it now.
Yeah.
You, of course, teaming up with Tasha Steele in that triple threat tag against Top Flight, PB Smooth, Trey Lamar. I'd met and talked to Trey out here. I think he was at Warrior. It's been a crazy year, so I don't remember. But, Tasha Steele's, of course, killing an Impact. Good luck in the second round of that tag team tournament.
Yes.
Could not be a bigger fan of her. So I know I just gave you like 4 open-ended things, but talk to me about For the Culture, that match, Tasha Steele, however, wherever you want to go with it.
No, For the Culture was very, very special. I mean, when it first got announced, I sent out a tweet to AJ like, yo, brother, like I need to be a part of that, just because like before, everything that happened with, obviously like ACH, like it was like kind of like a series of events that happened leading up to it being what it was.
Right.
I had been putting on For the Culture in the New England area, saying, For the Culture, by the culture, just based off of the fact that at Chaotic Wrestling, I was the first ever champion of color, first heavyweight champion of color in 20 years.
Very cool.
And that was something very cool, right? And that was something that I was like, we were talking about. I said, like, I'm going to change the culture here. Like, I'm doing this for the culture. It was bigger than me. So that was something that I was already saying. And then the whole thing with ACH happened. And then, for the Culture got announced. And then I just felt like I had to be a part of it. Like that felt right. And then even just being there, I felt like I was representing for all of New England, all the talent of color in New England and this whole area in the Northeast area that weren't, able to be out there. Because if you look at that card, it was very scattered. So it was like you got people from the Midwest, you got people from maybe the West Coast, you got some people a little bit down south over here. But as far as like New England representation, there really wasn't anybody, even maybe Tasha Steele and myself. So, like I made sure that I definitely represented New England and made them proud and all the talent of color in New England. But yeah, For the Culture was very special to me. And man, like just being a first time show like that, all black talent, just very cool. And it went off beautifully. And some of those matches are fantastic. I watched that show as a fan after my match, and I just loved every little bit of it. Tuco Scorpio and AR Fox, come on. Lee Moriarty and ACH, like Dez and AJ, Trisha and Suge. Like, what?
I'm so happy that Dez, this is kind of off track, but I love Dez, and I'm so happy he got to have that one last important major moment on the indies, because of course now he's signed and he's not going to be doing any more indie dates. So it's, I'm going to miss him on the independents. He's one of my very favorite people to interact with every time he's in Chicago. So nothing but good luck to him. But to get back on track, For the Culture was so important to me, just like I said, because I learned about so many people, and inclusion is so important because of that. If you go to a show, and it's like what I keep saying about women's wrestling in the same vein, if you go to a show and there's only one women's match on this card of 10 different matches, like what's your excuse? Like of course nobody's ever going to hear these people because they're not being put on the show. Like there needs to be that that push for inclusivity and bringing in people and making the card as diverse as possible, because then you get to learn about people like a Trish Adora or Calvin Tankman, who's now on MLW. He killed it this week. So there's so much great talent out there that doesn't always get the spotlight because for one way or the other, they're just not being featured on these shows.
So the way I look at it is like, I completely agree with like inclusivity, like what you said. But at the same time, it's like, well, no, these people are just as talented as any other wrestler on the show. So it really, at the end of the day, it's not really necessarily inclusivity, because it's like, well, we're just as talented. So it's not like we should be included like a women's match just to fill a quota. Right. That was one of the big problems that I had, even with like postering and things like that. Like it's, you see a poster and it's, A, B, C, D, E or whatever. And it's like, well, there's maybe one or two, people representing, whatever, that's not white or whatever. But like the point I'm trying to make is that like it should be based off of talent, regardless. You know what I mean? Like I said, inclusivity, that's dope. But at the end of the day, like it doesn't matter, gay, straight, whatever. Like you're talented, you're on the show. Girl, guy, you're talented, you're on the show. Black, white, you're talented, you're on the show. That's how it should work.
Absolutely, completely 100% agree. Here's my question: where is the Christian Casanova PC tryout? Where's that AEW dark match? How do we get you on Impact or that ROH Top Prospect tournament, New Japan Strong? Like, how do we get you out there?
The good thing is you don't have to worry about getting me out there, because like I'm okay. Like trust me when I tell you, like I'm okay and I'm gonna be okay. Like you guys, the fans and everybody have done so much for me, and I'm so grateful. Like now it's really the ball is in my court. The ball is in my court, and I have a couple different hoops that I can, free throws at and see which ones want to make it. So like, the ball is really truly in my court, and like I've never been in a position like this before, where I have so many options and everything is just going so smooth. Like I'm just so grateful for the position that I'm in right now. I'll leave it at that, but. Right. I'm definitely going to be okay.
I'm going to name a wrestler, and you're going to tell me if you've beaten them in the last 15 months. All right? Ready?
I don't know about wins and losses, bro.
All right.
But go ahead. All right.
Blake Christian.
I did beat him.
Myron Reed.
I did beat him, yeah.
Flip Gordon.
I did beat Flip. No, I actually didn't beat Flip. We had a 15-minute draw.
All right. You went to a draw with Flip Gordon. Richard Holiday.
I did beat Richard.
The Butcher and the Blade.
Yes. I think we did beat them.
The answer is yes. Tony Deppen, Jessica Mahavik, Josh Bridges, Layla Hirsch, Alex Zane, all within the last 15 months. So if you don't know who this dude is, you should by now. It really stacks up, though. Like, you know what I mean? Like, in such a short period of time. And that culminates next Saturday. We're going to wrap it up.
I beat Delirious, too.
He was on that list, yeah. I left him off because I was just like, I'm just going to keep listing people. But yeah.
I'm like, who else can I put myself over that I beat?
You can put yourself over Myron Reed again if we're just going to keep burying Myron Reed.
I know that list is stacked. I've definitely been lucky to be in there with so many good people. I've wrestled so many good people. Crazy.
To tie a bow on all of this, it culminates next Saturday.
Yes, Vacationland Cup.
On IWTV in the Vacationland Cup. You're going to take it all the way. You're going to win that title and that cup. That's the hope.
That's the hope, man. That's the mentality. I never questioned myself going into this. Like I've genuinely been training harder than I ever have. I'm training 3 to 4 times a week. Like, bro, I wasn't even training like that when I first started.
Right.
I'm just so crispy right now. Like I just feel so untouchable. I'm in the gym 6 days a week. I feel great. My mind is so fucking clear. I'm just ready for anything at this point. And, and I want to put on for New England, and I want to represent for Limitless Wrestling and be a champion, and live up to the previous champions like an MJF and like an Anthony Green. And honestly, I look at the landscape and I look at that roster and I don't see anybody on my level. I don't see anybody that can touch me. I don't see anybody with the skills that I have. I don't see anybody that looks like me. I just really just see everybody, and I'm not even trying to sound like brash. Like that's the old me, but this is this is me now, and just being confident. And I just really don't see anybody on my level. That's just it.
All right. Vacationland Cup next Saturday. stay tuned to all of the Limitless Wrestling social, because as we said, this weekend, fatal 4-way match to determine who you face in that first round of the Vacationland Cup. So if you want to know that, just stay tuned. They're going to have that announcement up in the next couple of, maybe even tonight. Should be on IWTV. They're just trying to get the details working out, but we're breaking that news here tonight. You take on the winner of that fatal 4-way. Any last thoughts before it's probably the last time we're going to talk to you before the show next weekend?
No, everybody go ahead and watch The Road. The Road is going to be this upcoming Wednesday is going to be myself against Alec Price. That kid talks a lot of shit. So I'm just going to beat the hell out of him just because. Yeah, so that's the reason right there. You should watch.
All right. Thank you, man. Thank you so much for your
Michael,
time.
Thank you, bro.
I look forward to the next time we talk.
Absolutely. Thank you again.